Hey guys, Deanne Taylor here. In this video, I'll be discussing the Technician Locator, which is a preview feature that is part of 2021 Release Wave 1 for field service. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can enable it and set it up and what the functionality looks like from a customer perspective. There are a couple of prerequisites before you can install the preview. Let's go ahead and take a look. So let's go over the prerequisites that I mentioned. So first of all, obviously your organization needs to be on field service version 8.8.30.103 or higher. And then you have to make sure that technician location sharing is enabled in Dynamics 365 field service. Then obviously you need to use the field service model driven app, right? This is not going to work with the Xamarin app. And you also need to make sure that on that mobile device, right, when you're in that field service mobile model driven app, that you actually have location sharing enabled in there as well. If you want to send SMS messages or notifications, then you're going to need an SMS provider that has a Microsoft Power Automate connector for mobile SMS communications. And if you want to use email messages to send the notifications, then you're going to need an Office 365 Exchange account. All right, so now that we know what our prerequisites are, let's go ahead and install the Power App portal. Now, I wanted to mention that with your Dynamics 365 instance, you can have multiple portals installed, but there can only be one field service portal per environment. And at this point, we cannot integrate this portal with any existing portal, so you're going to have to do a separate installation for this. So we already said, right, this is in preview, so keep that in mind as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to make.powerapps.com, and you can see that I'm already there. And then you got to make sure that you're in the correct environment, right? So make sure that you check that before you do anything. So from here, I'm going to click on Create. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that there's several templates here, right? Canvas apps, portals. So we're looking for the field service. Here we go. Here it is, the field service portal, right? Which is currently still in preview. So you're just going to go ahead and click on that. And now I can give my portal a name. And then you can have a URL in here as well, obviously. Let's see if that actually is available, and it is. So the only thing I have to do here now is click on Create. So let's go ahead and do that. And that will now start that creation process. So as you can see in the right-hand top corner there, now it's just waiting until that portal is being provisioned. When that's done, I can then start to configure that portal. Now, since we're waiting for that portal to be ready, let's talk a little bit about the type of notifications that are available with this field service portal. So we're going to have service reminders, Those are obviously notifications regarding scheduled bookings, right? So you schedule a booking by using the schedule board or any other method. Those are the service reminders that will be sent out to the customer. Then we also have a technician ETA and their location. So this notification is going to be triggered when the technician changes the booking status to traveling. And there's also going to be a link in that notification that's going to show a map with the technician's current location near real time and their ETA, obviously. So they're going to be able to kind of follow where the technician is on that map. Then obviously also service changes, so cancellations and reschedule information as well. So these are only sent, these reschedules, if the booking time difference is more than 10 minutes. So if a booking was changed from 3 o'clock to 3:08, right, o'clock, no notification is going to be sent. But if you're changing it from 3 p.m. to 3:15 p.m., then obviously we are going to send that service change notification. And then lastly, also on work order completion, again, a notification is being sent out to the customer. So the portal now is installed. So let's take a look here. We can see that I'm in field service and I am in the settings area. And if you scroll down here, you're going to see that customer portal section here on the sitemap. So I'm going to click here on customer portal and I want to show you some of those configuration settings that we have here. So you can see here my Contoso cable customer portal, and I'm going to go ahead and open that. So you can see, right, you can enable or disable the notifications from here. There's also a reminder timing on here. The options available, as you can see, is none up to 7 days. This means that notifications will go out for all bookings that have been scheduled whatever day in advance, however many days in advance that you pick over here. So that's kind of what that is. And then you have your communication types, right? Depending on what you want. Do you want email only? Do you want SMS only? Or do you want both? So this is where you can select either or both of those options. And then do you want to show the map on there, right? Do you want to enable the map on the portal website so we can send that information in our notifications? I'm going to say yes, obviously. And then do we also want to go ahead and show those resource details? And resource details are like a picture of the resource and their name as well. Now on the bottom here, if you scroll down, you also see excluded work order types and excluded accounts on here as well. So this is allowing us to exclude specific work order types or specific accounts from notifications. Now, I already can see that if people are opting out, maybe you want to add a button to your account that says no notifications, and then maybe you can use a Power Automate flow to link them here, right, to that excluded accounts section there. But that's just my brain already kind of thinking about that. All right, so the other thing that happened when I installed the portal was there's also a solution that's been installed in my environment as well. So I'm going to go to Flow because I want to show you 3 of the flows that are in that solution. So I'm going to go here to Solutions. And then I'm going to search for Dynamics 365 Field Service Power Apps Portal - Flow Solution. Because you can see on the top here, there's several that are installed here. So I'm actually looking for this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And you're going to see these 3 flows in there. One of them obviously for email notifications and one of them for text notifications. So if you're not using SMS notifications, you can just leave that off. Now, this guy over here, create notification items for bookings, you got to make sure that that one is turned on. So if I click on edit here, you'll notice that this flow handles the creation of, let's see here. So it looks like this is actually calling an action that is then creating these notification item records in Dynamics 365. So I think that this means that a notification queue record will be created, which in turn is going to trigger the message flows that we just saw on the previous page. Now, you could also see that this is actually a scheduled flow. And that means that it's not going to immediately be triggered right when a booking is created. Now, if you need to actually update this, you can do that, right? So I actually have this running at 1 o'clock UTC. So keep in mind that this is UTC time, right? So you got to do a little bit of a calculation to find out like, hey, when do you want this to run? I'm actually in Eastern time. So this is 8 a.m. for me in Eastern time. Now, once you have this set up, there is a run button over here, right? So if you want to test it, right, you create a booking, you put it on the schedule board, and then you can just go ahead and run this to kind of test that functionality out. So let's go back here to the other flow. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back to solutions. There we go. So let's also take a look at that email flow and then click here on edit. So I just added the connection to this flow. You didn't really have to do anything. It just popped right up. And then what I did here is in the send email. Did I do anything? Oh, I don't think I did anything actually. That's the only thing that I did. So you can very quickly turn that on. Now, all of the notifications that actually go out, you can review them right over here. You can see this says notifications. When you try to open any of these records, they're going to be read only. So if I, for example, click on this, I can't make any changes to this, right? But it does tell me who the recipient was, what the communication type was, what the notification event was. But if I click inside the notification code over here, you can actually block or extend or even expire the access to that message that has been shared with the customer. So I'll show you what I mean by that. But let's just go ahead and go back, and now let's take a look at how this actually works. I'm going to go ahead and schedule this work order to myself, and then we should receive that notification shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and run this flow, and in a few minutes I should get that notification in my inbox. And here is that notification email that just came in. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here on view details. And this is what that looks like, right? So I'm going to be able to see my booking number, some information about my booking, the address, contact information, and then we see on the map where that service is taking place. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my mobile application here on the screen. And here we are, and you can see here that upcoming booking for Monday. So I first wanted to show you where you can set the location, right, that you want to make sure that that's turned on the field service mobile app. So you can see here, location needs to be turned on. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that booking now. And then I'm going to set this to traveling. I'm going to save that. And that should then kick off another notification. So we're just going to give it a second here. And if I go back here to active notifications, you can see here this upcoming booking notification. Let's refresh that. And here is that traveling notification. So I'm just going to go back here to this portal and I'm going to go ahead and refresh that because it's going to be that same link in that email notification. So now we're going to be able to see that our technician is actually on the way. So I just refreshed my screen real quick so that we can see the actual starting point and the end point. So this is what that experience will look like to the customer, right? You can see exactly when the technician is starting to drive, and then you can see on the map exactly where they are located as well. Driving kind of slowly, it looks like. But I think it's kind of cool. How you can kind of see that little car going on that map. I just was able to speed it up a little bit, so this looks like it's a maniac that's driving, but pretty cool, Microsoft, pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another video again. Thanks again for watching and have a great day. Stay safe, everybody.